All right, everybody, welcome. I am hovering over my phone just to see how this is going since this is only my second YouTube live. And I thought my, oh, whoopsie. I thought my iPad would have updated when I went, let me go back out because this should be live. Oh, here I am. Okay. Phew. All right, I need to figure out how to refresh that, that's all. Okay, well, once again, Facebook messed me up earlier this morning. Well, I should say, back it up. Yesterday, my live button was there on my phone, and I was fingers crossed that everything was going to work right. I was thinking we're all good. Today it was there. Then when I left work, I just thought I would check again and not there. So I just had to make the decision. I can't mess with it anymore. So tonight, YouTube, and then tomorrow night, part 2 of this class will be also on YouTube. So if you're here in the chat, just let me know. I don't exactly know how it works here on YouTube. I mean, I can see a number. I can't see eyeballs. But it doesn't tell me like who is joining or if anybody's really here. So just let me know. All right, let's get to it though. So today, Toni Tessler, ToniStamps, that is me. We are here for my Harvest Meadows Journals class today. So every month on the second Monday and Tuesday night of the month, I do my online class. The class is free. I'm presenting it here on YouTube, normally on Facebook, but whatever. It ends up on YouTube anyway. So the presentation is free, and I go through, measurements, like what I'm making, what I'm cutting, paper, all this stuff. You can create it later on your own with your own materials. You should have enough information to get by on that. I also put the measurements, no, I don't put them on my blog. That's right, because I will do a PDF. But if you decide you want the class packet, which is everything that I'm using, you can buy that. So $32 optional class packet. This is US only because I can only ship to the US. But this does include, hey Julie, hey Gail. Nice. I'm glad you found me. I wasn't sure if anybody would catch the post that I put over on my Facebook page. But yeah, they got me again. So I'm just going to be here, YouTube, tonight and tomorrow night. So optional class packet for this one, Harvest Meadow Journals. Let's go through the kit. It's $32, like I said, includes shipping, and we'll get to the dates and all that. So class packet for today. You get this fancy bag. You get the stars of the show. Look at these. You're going to get 2 of these half-size composition books. I love them. So I found these at Walmart like maybe 2 months ago when it was school supplies season out. And hey Sue, so it was in the school supply stuff. I have been back to Walmart like every other week and I have not seen these notebooks anymore. So I got a bunch of packs, so I'm sure I will have enough for everyone that wants the class packet. So you're going to get 2 of these notebooks. And I think really you could take like a regular size composition book and take it to Staples or Office Depot or something, and they can cut it for you. And so you could try that. It's just, one would have that top, the top of the notebook. These look the same on every page. So if you're cutting one in half, it would just be, a little different. But these are so cute, and I think they're the perfect size. And I need a new notepad anyway, so it's going to be perfect. All right, so you get the 2 notebooks. You're also going to get, let's see if I can grab all of this and put this off to the side. Let's just go through this. 3 yards of this diamond weave ribbon. This stuff is pretty thick. I like it. So we're going to do some decorating with that. You're also going to get 1 yard of linen thread and then 2 jumbo paper clips. All right, we're going to do something with those later. You're also going to get some Cork Flowers. These are the Quiet Meadows dies. Oops. So I have cut all 6 of the flowers and weeds and whatever else they are out of cork. And we're going to use these on our notebooks. Okay. Then you're going to get a 1/4 pack of the Harvest Meadows Designer Series paper. So that's why I called it the Harvest Meadows Journals, because the paper is really like the focal point. I did not get the Harvest Meadows stamp set. That's why I'm using Quiet Meadows, because I like that one better. Psh. All right, so paper. I love these fall colors. So you're going to get a 1/4 pack of that, which is 12 sheets basically of 6x6, all the patterns. All right, let's just go through these really quick. Oh, and that one's stuck. So I can't figure out if this is supposed to be Calypso Coral or a lighter shade of Cajun Craze. I think it matches better with Calypso Coral. I love this one. Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee. We've got some crumb cake. It says Cajun Craze on the paper, but none of these pieces look Cajun Craze. I really do think that is a misprint. So that's what, yeah, I printed off or wrote down all the colors from the back of the designer paper. And so I added Calypso Coral because Cajun Craze, it really, there's nothing in here that looks Cajun Craze. I don't know what they're saying. Even this, I don't get it. So you get a 1/4 pack of that, the paper. You're also going to get 6 pieces of the coordinating paper. So Bumblebee, Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Misty Moonlight, Soft Succulent. I am putting in Calypso Coral because I think it matches better than Cajun Craze. And then a piece of white. All right, so you're going to get all that paper. Paper clips, die cuts, coordinating cardstock, linen thread, diamond weave, designer series paper, 2 notebooks. Yep. Storage bag and a PDF tutorial, $32. Dates. So I am taking signups for the next week. So today is, what's today? The 11th, Monday, and then tomorrow the 12th. So by next Wednesday, October 20th, I need RSVP and payment. Then I put the order in on the 21st, and then I expect to ship the packets out the following week on the 30th. All right, so that's it for class, and I will go over that again tomorrow. So today, let me put away the parts that we are not using. Let me put this back in our little bag. We're going to focus today on the basic covering of our notebooks. So I started mine, and I did not put the finishing touches on it because we're going to do that tomorrow. So what we're going to do, we're adding some pockets. We're creating a pocket. So let me flip this up. So look here, how that pocket, it's kind of a weird side pocket. And let me tell you the idea. So I've been watching a lot of videos lately. The original idea was a combination. I saw some from this girl Amber over at Lyric Lovers Crafts. She does a lot of cool 3D type things. A lot of notebooks, a lot of mini journals, mini scrapbooks. I love her. And then this pocket, so that was just for like the general idea of covering these notebooks and the teeny tiny ones. This pocket idea came from May did it, May made it, or May made me do it, or something. And she had done the full size composition book and made a pocket similar to this. So I've had to adjust everything because they were using 12 by 12 paper and I'm using 6 by 6 just because of the way I had to cut it. So it's still pretty cool. So we're going to have a pocket here on the inside, this big pocket, which you'll be able to put anywhere you want, really. I may put one on the very middle. And then same thing back here with pockets, okay? And I did forget to punch my little half circle, so this one's going to have to be mine. This is the mess up one. So the first thing we want to do, these, hey Deborah, these composition books are 4 7/8 tall. And I think 9 something or other, 7.5? 7.5. All right, that sounds right. By 4 7/8. So let me just write that down just for giggles. So notebooks are, because we're going to need that, 4 7/8 by, and I said 7.5. We don't really need that part. But yeah, 7.5. Okay, so first thing we want to do is pick designer series paper. So we're going to cover this, and since our 6x6 piece, let me bring this one back. From the black line to the edge is about 6 1/4. So since we're using 6x6 paper, we've got to add this little strip here. And what I did was I flipped over, I used one piece of 6x6 for each cover here. So I'm going to cover both of these same time. Let's pick out our designer series paper first. So we're going to need 2 pieces for the front, and then we're going to need a different piece for the inside. So we'll get to that later. So let me just pick the 2 pieces I want for the front. Keeping in mind that this will be, like it'll be laid up like that. Like this will be the little strip on the side because I'm going to use everything from this piece. So I have that option. I could do yellow with the green, with the sage. And this one, I better pay attention to the words. Actually, I think I want that for the inside of something. This with that Calypso coral. Now, I can't tell if this is trees or it looks like, what is that stuff? Coral, like in the bottom of the ocean. This one I already did. I could do that again, though. I am liking this. That pattern kind of, I do like it, but I like this one better. And you could always mix and match. I think I'm going to do this one, definitely. So a blue with a little bit of that coral poking out. All right, so let's do that for one. And, I probably should have decided on these first, but there's too many choices. Nope, 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 nope. I think I'm going to go with this. All right, so all of these pieces, we're going to save these for our inside pieces and for our side pockets. And then for tomorrow, we're going to do some decorating of the front. So these pieces we want to be 4 7/8 tall. And then this is just going to be the leftover. All right, check for a pattern. The wheat is going up. So I want to cut 4 7/8. I want the wheat to go up, so I'm going to cut 4 7/8 off of this side. Okay. And I still want to keep it 6, so just so you know. So this, the wheat is facing up, so I'm going to cut this at 4 7/8. All right, so then this piece is going to lay on top of our notebook, just like that, all right? And then this little strip, then we're going to flip it over, okay? So I want to cut this one at 4 7/8 also. And you could trim that after the fact, but why not do it now? And some of the notebooks are not, like they may be a little wonky anyway. It may not be exactly 4 7/8. All right, so I'm doing all my cutting, and then I'm going to lay down all my tape. And this one doesn't really have a pattern, but I do want to make sure I get them cut the same way. Vines? Oh, no, I was thinking of the coral under the sea. Is that what we're talking about? All right, let me pay attention here. All right. Nope. Oh, it's not going to line up because I cut it from one sheet. All right. This looks about right. Okay, 4 7/8. And then this piece, 4 7/8. And then same thing here, 4 7/8. And then our little strip, 4 7/8. I think this would be really cute for the holidays, like You could put tabs in it. You could have little sections, you know, for like gifts, recipes, address, all that stuff. All right, so we need, we're going to use score tape and some liquid glue. You're also going to need a corner rounder or a chomper. I like this chomper that I got, this crocodile corner chomper. The 1/2 inch, it does two sizes, 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. The 1/2 inch is like exactly the right match for the corners of these notebooks. So let me get my notebook back. Now you want to run this tape right up to the edge. And this is where I wish I had thicker score tape, like wider. All right, right up to the edge. And then I'm just going to rip it. And I say that only because the wider tape would make quicker work of this part. So, I mean, you can find this stuff in 1/2 inch width, or I think maybe even inch width. But this is the score tape from Stampin' Up, and it is just a 1/4 inch. So I'm just gonna have to live with it until I find something, until I get something else. All right, now I'm running this right up to the black line there, because that's, I want my paper to go right up there. All right, and now let's do just some more. I definitely want tape in the middle here because I don't want this popping up. Like, I don't want it to get any bubbles in the middle. All right. Same thing on this side. On all the sides, really. Right up to the edge. And right up to the edge. And let me check camera. Okay. It really just does take a minute to get used to the how YouTube is a little bit different as far as the camera space. Like, it shows a lot more of my work surface, which is fine. I tell you what, if Facebook keeps it up, I may just be doing live from YouTube because they don't mind me showing up to make videos. And I know it's has to do with the app on my phone because the live button shows up on my desktop, which doesn't even have a camera. And it shows up on my iPad because my iPad, I don't use the Facebook app. And the reason for that was because certain things were not working right. So it's the app, and I don't know that they care to fix it because I have sent in trouble, you know, report a problem. I've done that several times. That seems to go into a black hole. But thank goodness for YouTube, right? They are my favorite right now. And I was able to figure out the video from last week when I did my workshop. I forgot that I used to do some minimal editing on YouTube. The only thing I can do is cut off stuff from the beginning. So, like, you know, in the beginning when I was trying to figure out, find my video and all that, you know, I can trim those few minutes off. But I can't do anything else, like add any pictures or any words like at the bottom. So there's always some good and some bad. Just gotta deal with what you get. All right, and then last one. And I'm not trying to rush through this because, I mean, it's really not an extensive time suck putting all this tape on. Plus, I want you to see how it goes. And I'm getting as close to the edge as I can. Now, these little bits that are hanging off, I'm going to chomp those right off. I really do like this corner rounder that I got, and I found that on Amazon. Plenty of stores have them, though. You may get lucky and have a coupon or something, if any of the stores are still doing coupons. All right, we're almost finished. Yeah, so this is coral. So yeah, I get what you mean. This is harvest, so you don't think it's coral. You're probably right that it's vines, but it looks like coral. And that color, what do you think about the color, Gail? Because I swear there's no Cajun craze in this pack. I don't know what they're thinking. All right, so let's start with this one. I need a poker. So what I'm going to do is pull all my tape off and then add some glue, and I'm going to start with this piece over here, okay, on the very edge. And I can tell already I may have to do a little teensy bit of trimming. Then we will follow up with this piece right here over top. All right, so let's do our picking. Yeah, I agree that there's no Cajun craze in the paper, but it's printed on the back of my paper pack. I just assumed that was a mistake because there was no way. And I made a card with the one print a couple weeks ago, and I put it with Magenta Madness and Bumblebee, and it looked really good. So I would even say Magenta Madness and or Flirty Flamingo. All right, picking these off. Definitely going to have to add some more score tape. This does use a lot of tape, I will say that. All right, and I need to get this out of my area. Oh. All right, sorry, I had to drag my trash can. Okay, now glue. Barely art glue, or I'm using up my Tombow liquid glue. I'm putting this right on top of the tape, and then I'm going to give it some all over. All right. Now, I have the best luck lining stuff up if I have everything on my table, and then I can come in and scooch it till it's right at the edge. Oops, that didn't work right. Come on. Look how strong that tape is. You know what? I should do this by hand. Eyeball, no eyeball. All right, just lining up the corners. There we go. Whew. I guess my method of using the table doesn't always work. All right, now I still have tape here. I need a little bit more. This strip, see how it's going to hang over about a ½ inch. So I'm going to put another strip of score tape right down there because I don't want this going anywhere. All right, and one more right here. And then when I get around to the other side, I will do that too. I really like this blue. Okay. And then again, a little bit of glue. And then I want to butt this right up, this edge, right on the very black, where the black starts, the binding part. All right, I don't want any of the black and white poking through. All right. And I can see, I don't think I got that perfectly, but that's all right. This is handmade with love, you guys. All right, now I'm gonna come back and trim that later, but let's pull this all off. I really like the idea of adding these pockets because I like pockets. And especially with a notebook, like there's always something that I want to keep. You know, receipts or other notes, loose notes, index cards, different stuff. All right, last one. Oops. Yes, Gail is right. Toni is the note queen. I love notes. Lists, notebooks, journals. I want to write it down, and multiples. All right, so glue on top of my tape. And again, I'm going to line up these two corners and hope for the best. Oops, that almost stuck down the wrong way. Oh, yikes. I could see a little bit poking out. Yikes, that bent. Okay. I didn't think I'd have to concentrate this much on getting this paper on. Okay. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. And like I said, sometimes the notebooks aren't exactly 4 7/8, so you kind of just have to roll with it. All right, and then one little piece in the middle here. And then after I get these done, I will have to think, who am I going to give them to? Because they need to enjoy fall with all these colors. All right, and then our strip. And again, I'm butting this right up to the binding line. Okay. Give that a good press. I like these colors. So see here, I'm gonna have to trim that off. And I got it right up on the edge. So sometimes they're just a little wonky. All right, number 2, same thing. I've already got my tape on, so let's peel up these guys. And I realize this might be the boring part for you guys, but I don't think it takes that long. So what we're going to do tonight, like I said, the bases. We're going to cover the front and back covers, and we're going to do the insides and add those pockets on the side. And then hopefully I will have time to show you how I made that, that bigger pocket on the inside. That I think is really cool, a really cool idea. All right, more glue. I'm going to go all the way around on my score tape. And we're going to add our yellow piece. This was the one that I put with Magenta Madness. Let me bring this up. Look at that color. I think it, well, I don't think, it does match perfectly with Magenta Madness. I made a fall leaf card with it, believe it or not. Pink and bumblebee for fall. I love it. Non-traditional colors. Yes, please. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. Add another strip of this score tape. And then a little bitty piece right here. I feel like this one's going quicker, but oops. Why do I have to do this? I have the tool right in my hand. And it's like I'm working around it. Dumb. All right, let's get this down. Add a little bit more glue. And then our strip. Now this is where I have to pay attention because remember we want our wheat to go the right direction. And I believe this was the front of our book. Yep. Okay, so I want the wheat going this way. So again, we're just going to line it up with that edge of the bookbinding part, knowing full well that I am going to have to come back and trim up all of these, and then, you know, chomp the corners too. All right. I like this. I didn't know how I was going to feel about that, but I think that's going to look really good because we're going to come back in and we're going to add some of this trim to the front. Very nice. Okay, let's pick these off. Now I will say, working with that trim, that it's like crocheted kind of, I really wanted to use Fabri-Tac, because that is the best glue, like when you're doing fabric to paper, fabric to fabric. And I thought I had some from a long time ago, and I did not. So when I get to that part, I will show you. I ended up using the Barely Art glue for that. This glue, it just wanted to soak up into the ribbon, and that's a problem with trying to glue ribbon, you know, and material stuff onto paper, is a lot of times the glue will just soak up in it. So Fabri-Tac really is good. And I'll just have to put that on my list that I have to go get some more. But meanwhile, that Barely Art glue worked. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try the art glitter glue for one of these, because I want to see if that works just as well. I'm hoping it will. All right, and I can see just a little bit of the black poking out, but whoopsie. Okay, let's put this over here, and then another little piece right here. Now you may be thinking, oh my God, that's like entirely too much score tape. It's not, because I really want this to stick down. You don't want to give this to somebody and then have it pop up. And I'm sure you could do glue, but I like both. Oops, look at that. Get rid of that. All right, and our strip. So again, let me make sure I have this going the right way. All right, so I want my wheat going this way, butting it right up against that black bookbinding edge. And smooth it out. All right, that is enough of this glue for a while. All right, so now let's go back to our first one, which has been sitting there patiently, drying and waiting for me to be ready. All right, I'm going to start with trimming. See this little bit here and this little bit here. So I'm just going to take my scissors. This would be too unwieldy to try to get into my cutter, but I'm sure my cutter would make, you know, a very nice straight cut line, but scissors is good enough. And you really do want to make sure all that glue is dried. I found that out when I was making my first one. My scissors got all kinds of gunked up. All right, now this one, I see just a little bit down here. I mean, that is just a teeny bit, but that's gonna bother me. All right, and then all this, gotta get rid of it. Yeah, I was hoping they would have these notepads again, like in the regular school supply section, but I have not seen them. All right, now let's take our corner chomper. So I said before, the 1/2 inch. And this is how this thing works. So you get it, and it's just like, the handles are like the crocodile. You flip this out. So see, it's got here 1/2 inch and then 1/4 inch. So you flip this thing out, and that, oh look, instructions, open guides, boop, empty waste bin frequently. So we open this, And the waste bin, I think, is this right here. I forget how I pulled this off because I have cleaned it out once. All right, I don't want to mess with that right now or wreck my nails. All right, 1/2 inch side. So we're going to go in with these corners, chomp, and it goes through chipboard. Look at that, perfect. It goes through chipboard. It's very sturdy. All right, and we are going to have to do it again after we add our inside pockets. But I like to do it just to keep up with it. All right. I am loving this already. Okay, let's bring back our number 2. So I'm glad that you're getting the variety of the paper that you can make. I feel like I have glue right here. So you can make them different. And of course, if you had different paper, you know, that you wanted to use, obviously you're welcome to it. I do think this would make it a nice Christmas project too. All right, again, I'm just trimming these little bits that are hanging over. And that one I felt like had a little bit of glue, which is not going to make me happy. Let me just take my glue booger thing. So normally I would run some alcohol on my scissors, but this adhesive remover, that works too. All right, so I got that side. Now this side, more boogers. And we're going to trim right up here. This is really awkward trying to hold it under the camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, trim that. Get these little bits out of here. And I think, so if you get confused on which is the top and bottom, I don't think it really matters, but there's just the teensiest bigger border at the top, like you would expect. But they really seem close to me. Like, if you got it wrong, up, you know, it's not the end of the world. Oops. All right, let me get my scissors in here. There we go. And then one more little bit. So it seems like 4 7/8, like this one had a little bit more hangover. Hanging over. All right, trim, trim, trim. These covers do not seem as cardboardy, as sturdy as the full-size composition books. They're a little bit more floppy. But still good for, they serve our purpose. Get this glue off of here. I've got to cut some ribbon. All right, next I glued on my ribbon. I got to chomp these corners, 1/2 inch. Oh, no, wait, no, I didn't. I did the ribbon last for the front. I got to add the insides. See, this is why I need a new notepad too, because I had this written down, my order of operations. Okay. Chomp, chomp, chomp. All right, insides. So now we're going to add a different piece of designer paper, both sides. Now notice that I'm not going right up to that crevice. That's because if you do, your book won't shut right. So you got to leave a little gap, and that may be too much. I think that's like 3/8 of an inch or so. I could have gone a little bit smaller. Yeah, 3/8 inch. I could have gone just a 1/4 inch. But we don't want to butt our designer paper right up to the inside edge. Okay. So we're going to add a piece here first, and then we're going to add another strip that is 2 inches wide for our side pocket. All right, so let's pick. So now we have to go back to our papers. And again, we need 2 sheets, 2 full sheets, because we need a 4 7/8 inch piece for here and the same one on the back. You could mix and match if you want, but I don't like that idea. So I want something that kind of coordinates. I kind of like these for the pockets because they're generic. They're going to go with anything. This has, I think I like this for the inside of that one. Blue, blue, blue. And I really actually like this for the inside with this one, with all this yellow too. I could go that way, but I want this to be our pocket, so that would be too boring. So that's going to be it. All right, and then I will have these 2 pieces left. I could do those for pockets too. That's interesting. All right, we'll come back to that. So this piece, these I'm going to cut at 4 7/8. Now this one does have a direction to the pattern, so I want to make sure I cut it this way. All right, so let me bring my cutter back. 4 7/8, and it's going to be the same deal. That if there's a little bit hanging over, I'm going to have to go back and trim it. All right, so 4 7/8. 4 7/8. This one doesn't really have a direction. 4 7/8 and 4 7/8. Okay. Now these little strips, I want you to save everything because I don't know how we're going to use these later. So we're just going to put that in a pile. And let's bring back this one. So I want to put it here. And I want to go about right there. So this time I'm going to put the tape on the back of the paper. All right. And actually, you know what? I think I used my glue this time. So I wasn't too concerned about this coming off. I think with the covers, too much wear and tear. All right, with this glue, I'm getting it right up to the edge. This is that Barely Art glue. And then I do want a little bit across the whole thing. I think if you had fast fuse or like a strong tape, that would work too. All right, I need to turn this upside down so I can do this with my right hand. So again, I want to make it just like a 1/4 inch gap from the center here. And that looks about right. I can tell already I'm going to have to trim some of that. That's fine. All right. Yeah, I feel more comfortable using glue just on the inside here because it's just not going to get the same amount of wear and tear. Oh, here's another thing. So I am putting my pockets on the side, on the edges. My thing with pockets is, in a notebook like this, like if something's going to fall out of the pocket, I want it to fall into the spine. I think the girl Amber that I saw her original video, she put her pockets on this side, so you would put stuff in here. Well, if you're gonna, if your book goes like this, that might fall out. So I always like my side pockets to go this way. You can change yours. You can do whatever you want. But that's me. All right, and then same thing. Let's add the glue here. Now, if you don't find these small notebooks at your Walmart, you can certainly do the same idea with the regular size. It's just these are so cute and little. All right, let me get about a 1/4 inch again. That looks right. And I'm going to have to trim. So my first one, I didn't have to do enough trimming, or as much trimming, I should say. So that really leads me to believe that these notepads are not consistent. All right, so that's that. We're gonna let that dry for a minute, and then let's add this. So I just want to make sure I'm paying attention to the pattern, this print. I don't want upside down flowers. I may have to get a new refill for my Barely Art. Actually, after I run this through, that's when I'm going to switch to my art glitter glue for a full test. I tested a little bit with both of them, and I couldn't really tell enough difference. So then I thought, well, I'm just going to use the Barely Art glue, like use it all up, and then I will switch to the, I do have to turn this upside down. Then I'll switch to the art glitter and use that up, and maybe using it more frequently will help me decide. All right, again, I want just about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to move that up so I can tell already, so I'll have to trim that little bit. So let me press and rub this all over, get that sealed down. All right, and then we're going to add our next page. Boop, right there. Tell you, Stampin' Up! Really does knock it out of the park with the designer papers all the time. Different, the colors they put together, the patterns. I love it. Oriental trading. For what, Gail? For glue? I'm sorry if my bangs are getting in the way here. I had to stick my head in a little bit. Oriental trading for, oh, the composition books. Oh, nice. So the little half-size ones? Awesome. Yeah, I checked Walmart.com and I didn't find them. So I was like, well, maybe they're just seasonal. All right, now let's go back and trim off all our excess, all this stuff that's hanging off the edges. Oh, didn't mean to smack my camera. So I'm going back to the first one, since the glue should be dried up. All right, and then this side looks like over here. Oh yeah, and I got it all the way up there. Yeah, I know I've seen mini composition books too. Actually, I've had a few of those. I think I still have a few in my stash. I may have to go dig one of those out and add a pocket. I know I did something a couple months ago for one of my workshops. Maybe that was in the summer. But we just covered it, like covered the outside. All right, so all trimmed up. Let me just double check this. That looks good. So this is our top. All right, now let's go back to this one. And I can see I gotta trim that. Oh good, look at this. I got it on both the same sides. So let me just trim this side first and see if I can keep going. Oh, nope. I need to get the bulk of the actual note, the pages out of the way. Okay. Nice. Okay, we're almost there. All right, and it's a good thing that I planned this for 2 nights. All right, so now pockets. So I think I decided I was going to use these. And I like that for both of them. Yes, so I want 2-inch pockets. So I'm going to cut, I need 4 pockets. Since I want them to be 2 inches and this is a 6-inch piece, I need 3 here and 1 here. So let's cut one piece, a 2-inch piece off, because I want to conserve as much as I can for other stuff. So I want this to be 2 by 4 7/8. And then for this one, I'm going to get 3 pockets. So I'm going to start 4 7/8 first. Save this. And then I'm going to cut 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, and that one should be 2. All right, so our pockets, let's get this out. Our pockets are going to go in just like this. All right, but this time I'm going to remember to punch my side bits. All right, so this is just a 1-inch circle punch. Now the pocket on this side, on the right side, I want the pull tab or whatever you call it, thumb grabby part on that side. Okay, so same thing for over here, but you know what? This time let's face them together and punch it at the same time. I would only ever punch through 2 layers like this for designer paper. I would not do that for cardstock. But see, then we get them the way we want. 2 for 1. All right, now glue. We're going to put glue with any pocket. We want it on 3 sides. I'm going to avoid the very corners though, because we're going to chomp that off anyway. So I'm going to come around here. And you know what? Before I close out tonight, I am going to glue this trim on because I want you to see, and I want to try it with the art glitter glue. I think it'll work the same. Okay. Now again, I may have to trim some of this edge off of here. I really like that I can get this right up to the edge with that glue. Okay, press that down. And then let's just check our, yep. Nice. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So again, I'm going to put glue and come around the corner, down the side. Samesies. And right up to the edge. Okay. Perfect, perfect. All right, press that down, and then we will do our second one. I love, love, love these colors. All right, so one more time. Down the side, around the corner, down this side. Boop. Adding our pocket. Press down for a minute. I shouldn't say a minute, that's really like 30 seconds, all right? Okay, last one. And if you wanted to make your pockets bigger than 2 inches, that's your choice. If you wanted a 3-inch pocket, you know, it would just come out to about here. You don't want to have a pocket all the way out here because then you won't be able to get stuff in. Okay. All right, now that's enough for the art glitter. And let me see if I have to do any trimming a little bit over here. All right, let's check this side. Teensy bit on both sides. And then we're gonna have to get our chomper and check these ones. All right, so again, teensy bit over here. It may not bother you to have this little bit hanging off, but I can't stand it. So, all right, that side looks actually good. And then over here, just a teensy little bit right here. Okay. Corner chompers. Again with the 1/2 inch side. Perfect. The only trouble I seem to have with this is getting it right in the, going the right way, in the right direction. I mean, it does have the guides and everything, but somehow I manage to still not get it quite right every time. So we can call that operator error. I'm cool with it. But generally I get it. Okay, cool. All right, so that's enough for that. Now, last thing I want to do tonight, so it's 5 of 9. I want to add some of the trims. Remember, you're going to get 3 yards of this diamond weave ribbon. And I just want to put it over here. If you want to put it over here too, I mean, that's up to you. But like I said, this glue, the Tombow multi-glue, this did not hold. All it did was soak up into the ribbon and the ribbon fell off. So not using that. I used the Barely Art glue for my test case, my first one, prototype. But this time I'm going to use the Art Glitter glue. And I haven't used this in a long time, so I hope it still comes out. All right, so we just want to trim. And I'm eyeballing. All right, now do I want it here? Maybe I will put it on this edge this time. All right, so let's do, looks like it wants to come out. This is very thin. All right, I should have planned better if I was going to use this. I don't feel like messing with this. I think I have to stick something in there. All right, let me try this one time and see if it comes out. Oh, okay, got it. Fine. All right, so I'm just laying down a pretty thick bead. And actually, I'm going to go two lines. Right to the very edge. And then I'm going to lay my ribbon down. My open weave ribbon. Now when I used the Barely Art glue, I just held it here for just a few, really like a minute. And it seemed like it was holding good enough. And then I let go. So let me just sit here for a sec. And then we're almost done for tonight. So when we come back tomorrow, we're going to do our inside pocket, that bigger one, and we're going to doll up the front. And this is where we're going to get into the 6 pieces of paper that are going to come with your kit, because you're going to pick your own front pieces. That looks like that is holding. Nice. I do want to trim that. All right, and this, I do have the kind that dries clear. So I'm not worried that I can still see this through there. Not worried at all. Okay, nice. All right, second one. I could even do it in the middle. I kind of like it like right on the edge. This one, let's do it on the blue edge. So again, I'm maybe 2, what is this, like a 1/4 inch wide? All right, stick my little pin in. There we go. And I should have cut this before I laid that glue down, but you know, doesn't always work. All right, and then I'm going to lay this right on top and hold it for a minute. And I went right to the edge of my designer paper. Let me get that. I'm going to have to trim just a little bit. But I'm happy with that. So both the art glitter glue and the Barely art glue work with this ribbon. My original plan was to use Fabri-Tac because that will work on any ribbon or fabric or anything. I mean, this is really a thick weave, but the Tombow glue did not work. Okay, let me trim this a little bit. Teensy. There we go. All right, so we've got for our two journals, we've got our bases done. So we did our covers, front and back, our inside covers, and then we added our pockets. Get all these extra bits out. So tomorrow we're going to come back and use the Cork die cut flowers that I've die cut for you for your kit, and we're going to take some of that cardstock and we're just going to use, like, we're going to cut a rectangle because that's all going to be, you know, how big you ever want it. But then we're also going to do one of these pockets. And I used most of one piece of paper for this pocket because it's going to be like two pieces, a front and back. And again, let me show you. We start out, it's from the paper, the notebook paper itself. So that's pretty cool. So tomorrow we'll finish it up. Thanks for being here. And I will see you again tomorrow. And like I said, I'm not going to mess around with Facebook tomorrow. I'm just going to come straight here to YouTube. I'm not trying it. Plus, since I did this one, I'd rather it be the same. So meet me back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock again, and we will finish up. So thanks, you guys. Have a great night. Bye. And I have to figure out how to end. Are you sure you want to